Happy New Year, Tailoring Talkers, and welcome back. It's 2024. I'm so sorry you've not seen any new episodes of Tailoring Talk in your podcast listening apps. For a little bit of time now, I moved house. So that was the biggest thing that's happened recently. So we kind of took the brakes off the business in early December to get ready for a house move that's been coming for quite some time, because we've actually built a house which is pretty phenomenal, especially now that we see and have been living in the finished result for a few weeks. What Carolina and I have achieved is pretty incredible, actually. So something I can tick off the old bucket list, although I'm not sure many people have build a house on their bucket list, but we did it. So yeah, but it has been quite a stressful time. Moving house is never easy, especially when you do it between Christmas and New Year. The weather hasn't helped. And obviously we have the business, which is thankfully constantly pretty busy. But we did it. We made it. But something had to give, and content creation was one of them. And that obviously includes a podcast as well. Something did happen. I got a really, really nice message from Buzzsprout, who host our podcast on, I think it was on Christmas Eve. But we hit 10,000 downloads of Tailoring Talk, which is a fantastic achievement. I want to thank all of you who listen and support the show so much for that. And it was just the little bit of good news and boost that I needed around Christmas time, whilst we were going through all the stress of trying to pack up our lives to move to a new area and to this house and everything. So I'm incredibly grateful, thankful, and appreciative of you. So thank you so much for that. The YouTube channel. So you remember I've talked about having taken the dust covers off the YouTube channel in 2023. It's been long dormant, but we're now over 260 subscribers there on YouTube. YouTube is a very slow burn. There's very few people that start a YouTube channel and then, suddenly end up with millions of subscribers or tens of thousands of subscribers overnight. It is a very slow burn. But we've been putting all of the little shorts that we put on Instagram, our reels, etc., have been copied over to YouTube. So you've got that resource there for those of you that are actually interested in tailoring. And then what we also did as well is we connected the podcast to YouTube podcasts, so that you now have the audio version of the podcast available on YouTube as well. Because I learned that some people like listening to podcasts on YouTube, on their laptops or tablets or their televisions even, and they just like leaving them running in the background. And that's definitely had a massive difference to our listening figures and so on. And now I'm starting the process. I've already got some of them up, of actually putting the Zoom recordings onto YouTube as well. So especially the Bond episodes, which have already been quite popular in the video format. I think it's quite nice for you guys and girls, having listened to me and some of my guests for such a long time, to actually put faces to names and voices, and see some of the way that we react to things that people say and so on. So if you haven't already, go check it out. If you go to youtube.com/@Roberto Revilla London, you'll find the channel there. And please do hit that subscribe button. Help me get the numbers up. We're trying to get to 500 in the next month or two. So yeah, there we go. That's that on the content creation side of things. Just trying to think what else has been going on. It's not that I haven't been recording, so I've had some fabulous guests in the last few weeks. I have been managing to sneak some recording sessions in, and I'm going to start the work on all of that editing to start getting back to a regular schedule from next week. So I guess we treat this as the launch of season, I think this will be season 8. I'll find out after recording this, but I'm pretty sure it'll be season 8. which is pretty incredible, really, considering that I just sort of started this as something extra to do and another way of trying to get into my clients' ears during the pandemic. And now this podcast has just, grown into so much more than that. I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Jason Davis. He's also a client. And Jason is an estate agent, or realtor, as we say in the UK. It's for the benefit of my American listeners. And Jason, I didn't know that he listened to the podcast, but there was some stuff in here in the conversations that I've been having with many of my incredible guests. And Jason got in touch to say thank you. He's been inspired to start his own business. So he was with a renowned estate agency here in London for quite a long time, and he's going out on his own. And I really wish him all the best. I'm really, really excited, Jason, if you're listening to this, to see what you're going to build. I know that you're going to take all of the good stuff that you've learned over a long career in the property business, and you're going to cut out all the bad stuff, and you're going to create an agency that is one day going to be recognised as being one of the very best. So thank you so much for your support, both as a customer, as a friend, and as a listener of this show. And I wish you all the best in your future endeavours. Very, very exciting. So it's always nice to get feedback like that, because often you don't. Often you put episodes out and really all you have to go on by are the number of people who've listened. You get those statistics from your podcast hosting service and from people like Apple and so on. Oh, that reminds me actually. So apparently we are now in the top 5% of podcasts worldwide. Now, when you think that there are actually millions of podcasts, that's actually pretty cool. So yeah, that was a really, really nice thing to see. I can't remember who does the statistics for all of that, but I was just having a little rummage around on the internet just to kind of see what other traction the podcast was getting, because it's always useful to know, because I'm always trying to make things better. And yeah, apparently we're in the top 5% of all shows listened to worldwide. So that's really cool. And it also gives me a lot of hope for the potential of where this show could go. Because it did start off as something I intended to be talking about menswear and style every week. And obviously, as you know, it's more a conversation podcast where we try to have conversations with different experts in different fields to try and help you to learn some new stuff every week so that you can apply it to different areas of your life and you can get better in other areas of your life and just become just the best human being that you can be bit by bit. And I don't want to lose that at all, although I'm constantly aware that we do need to do more clothing talk. So I'll be making more of an effort on that over the coming months. I have no idea where I was going with this. As usual, I've lost my thread of thought. But anyway, so yeah, it's the podcast is an extension of what I do in my day job, which is I make clothing for people, and the objective there is to make them more confident, for them to be seen by the world in the way that they want to be seen, to help them to be their best selves and to be able to go out there every single day and literally do their best. I'm not making much sense here, but I know you will understand what I'm trying to get at. So yeah. Anything going on the gadget side? Because I love my tech. I now have a ridiculous number of over-ear headphones. I've still got my original AirPods Pro Max, the Apple over-ears. But then I got the Beats Studio Pro a few months ago. which have been great, and they tie in with the whole Apple ecosystem thing. But then I had to do it. I got the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultras, and I ordered those from Bose early December. They finally arrived a couple of weeks, or I think it was about a week ago. So a month it took, but they're pretty special, I have to say. So if you want to hear a little bit of tech review stuff sprinkled back in, we used to do them in the early days of the podcast. My friend Rick and I used to do the Apple reviews, and we haven't really done any of that for quite some time. But if you'd like to hear some of that sort of lifestyle stuff sprinkled in here and there, I'm more than happy to talk about things that I'm doing. We're about to embark on the world of electric vehicle ownership because Carolina's Volvo is coming to the end of its time. So we've been looking at a couple of different electric cars. Something that me personally, I'm still getting to grips with because I love the noise of a combustion engine. I own a Supra and a Mini, John Cooper Works, and I just love the noise they make, quite frankly. But she's probably going to go the EV route, so we might talk about that a little bit in the coming weeks. I'm a little bit overweight at the moment because it's very, very cold here. I've not been cycling as much. And then with the stress and the house move and sort of living in between places, we've been not doing so much healthy home cooking. So I'm about 5 kilos overweight. So I'm going to be embarking on a bit of a weight loss journey again. So there's that. And then on the business side of things, it's been a bit of a funny start to the year here in the UK because of weather and train strikes and all this other stuff. So it's only really been the first 3 weeks have been a write-off really for most people. And it's only now that people are getting back into the swing of things properly. But we made our first piece of handmade leather luggage, and I've got this beautiful hold-all. You can see it on the YouTube channel and on the Roberto Revilla London Instagram channel as well, because we posted it as a reel yesterday. But if you want to have a little butcher's at that, go and have a look. It's an absolutely stunning bag made by our shoe factory. So that's going to be quite an exciting new product line for customers this year. And then on the content creation side, I've been storing up all the questions that I get asked by clients and then by new people, new audiences to what we're doing at Roberto Revilla London, who make comments on the videos and the reels, and I've been storing up all those questions. And so there's so much video content, short and long form that I want to create over the coming months. We're going to set up one room in the house as a podcast and video creation studio. That will take a little bit longer than I wanted because we've also got to buy practical stuff apparently, like wardrobes and just sensible things. But as soon as we get our wardrobes and stuff sorted and we can free a room up of all the clothes that have been dumped in there, then I can actually set that up as a proper studio, which means that I'll be creating content like there's no tomorrow. And again, it's not for the sake of likes and subscriptions and whatever. It is genuinely every single piece of content I create is designed to try and help at least one person in some way. And if it does that, then I've done my job. And the more content I can create, the more people I can help. So if you're still listening to this and you've got 60 seconds, drop me a message. You can email the podcast, tailoringtalkpodcast@gmail.com, or you can send me a message on YouTube or on Instagram at Roberto Revilla London, and the podcast Instagram is Tailoring Talk Podcast. And let me know your questions, things that you want me to either talk about, teach you, run through the history of, explain why things are the way they are when it comes to things clothing related and so on. Just give me your content wishes and I'll make your wishes my command. Anyway, we are now gonna get ourselves ready. The dogs have just snoozed off because they're probably bored of listening to my voice. And we're going to go test drive an Ioniq 6, which is very exciting. Hyundai their customer service has been absolutely brilliant. Hyundai in Colney Hatch Lane in North London. Amazing customer service. Most car dealers these days, they make you feel like you're doing them a favour. Most test drives seem to be, if you're lucky to actually be able to test drive a car, get in the car, drive up the road, run round the roundabout and come back. But Hyundai are actually giving us an Ioniq 6 and they've said, take it for as long as you want today, do all your normal things in it, go about your normal Saturday life, make sure that you can live with the car, and then come back. Obviously, they want us to come back. I'm going to hold my Mini. I'm going to leave my Mini there as ransom. But yeah, what a refreshing way to have people evaluate a car, because it's obviously a very, very important purchase. It's one that you don't want to get wrong. And apparently that comes from Hyundai's the owners of the company in South Korea. Their philosophy is that customers need to make sure that they're making the right decision and that they're getting a car that they can actually live with. Good and bad, because obviously there's niggles with every car. Wish the Supra boot was a bit easier to open. That's another story. So yeah, we're going off to do that, and then at some point this weekend, I will be sat down and I will be doing a lot of editing. So keep an eye out in your downloads for next week, because you'll start to see new episodes appearing. So there we go. Thank you so much once again for all your support. Thank you so much for helping us get over 10,000 downloads. Here we're now on our way to the big 100,000. Keep sharing, keep listening, keep giving me your feedback. Please do remember to like. Please go check out the YouTube channel at Roberto Revilla London, and just hit that little subscribe button there. Just help me out over there. I'd love you forever for that. And I wish you all the best for 2024. It's been a quite a hard few years for a lot of people recently, with the pandemic and energy crisis and everything that's been going on. But I really, really wish every single one of you all the best, every success in your chosen field, all the health, wealth, and love and happiness for you, your families, your loved ones. I hope that you achieve everything that you've set out to achieve in the coming 12 months. And thank you so much for being on this journey with me. Hopefully I'll see some of you soon, my clients that are listening. And remember, keep safe, be good to each other, and I will see you in a few days, I promise, as we kick off a new season of Tailoring Talk.